Hello, my name is Abigail House. This is my celebration of knowledge presentation and final case study for PH 430 Ayurvedic Maharishi Ayurvedic Consultant Training. For this assignment, I completed the case study questions based off of the information provided about the client and the things that were observed in their pulse and information that I've learned in both this class and previous class. The first question for this case study was, what is the client's prakriti based on the darshana, which is a visual assessment. So based on the darshana, I believe that the client's prakriti is pitta. The client is medium build. They have medium-sized joints. Her skin is warm and lustrous and has a pinkish tone. Her hair is fine and is like a medium to brown colored. It looks like a dark blonde possibly. Her face is contoured. You can see in her chin the distinction, and angled, well defined. She has a sharp, piercing gaze and medium-sized lips that are soft and curvy. All of these are characteristics of Pitta property. The next question was, would you recommend Amapatana or Agni Deepana? Why or why not? And I mentioned that Agni Deepana would be suitable for this client. However, I don't feel as though I have enough experience with pregnancy and Ayurveda to actually suggest the client does anything of this nature, aside from maybe adding some digestive spice. So for this client, there is a noticeable vata imbalance. And the next question is, which foods and tastes would you have this client favor and which would you have them avoid? So I've put for favoring sweet and sour tastes, unctuous, warm, and proper quantity of foods, sweet and sour fruits, legumes, string beans, coconut, mango, sweet potatoes, beetroot, and etc. These are only a few different foods that the client could add into her diet that could potentially help balance out the vata. And I put as a side note that normally one would favor salty taste with a vata imbalance, but this could inflict more issues with the edema that the client is experiencing. So I would suggest, in fact, decreasing salty tastes. And then for avoid, I put pungent, bitter, and astringent tastes. Those all increase vata. And then cold, light, and or dry food and drinks should be avoided. So the next question is, for this client, would you recommend Santarpana or Apatarpana therapy and provide logic? So I would recommend Santarpana therapy for this client because there is a clear vata imbalance we see throughout the pulse, the vata gunas, and also with the mild constipation and fatigue. So the Santarpana therapy will help to reignite the Agni and balance doshas, as well as correct digestion so that all seven dhatus can be nourished. I believe that this client is potentially experiencing a blockage in the pranavaha shrota, which could be causing the imbalance. So clearing up the ama will help with that, and the Santarpana therapy can do that. The next question is, what stage of pathogenesis would you say the client is experiencing? And I believe that that is Sanchaya Vata, which is the first stage in Shadkriya Kal, the aggravation stage. The client is experiencing mild symptoms of an imbalance, and I don't believe that she has a lot of built up ama. So this is why I think that she would be in the first stage of Shadkriya Kal. And with just a few adjustments, should be able to easily get rid of that imbalance. The next question is, what is an ideal daily routine for this client? So I put that a consistent routine is vital to correct the Vata imbalance, especially a TM routine. And that would be obviously practicing TM every day, twice a day for 20 minutes at a time. And that's because Vata imbalance, Vata has air in it, and having a consistent schedule will help to like ground this client and keep her on track, which will also naturally start to balance all the other bodily processes that occur not just with digestion but all throughout the body. And I also put that I would suggest including a walk first thing in the morning and one after lunch if possible, and eating the biggest meal of the day between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. to support digestion, of course, and also daily abi, excuse me, abhyanga if possible, because that should help to balance everything out as well. The next question is, are there any changes to her current exercise program that I would suggest? And I put yes. I would suggest at least one walk a day, like I mentioned in the previous slide, either in the morning after meditation or after lunch. And I put that 2 walks a day would be best. The reason that I'm suggesting this is because it will help to get everything moving for digestion, and also should help to get rid of some of the excess water that the client's retaining with the edema. I also put that I would have the client ask about potentially including more vigorous exercise, not a whole lot. I would say just a few minutes of cardio each day could benefit this client. The next slide, the question was, would you recommend herbs to this client? And if yes, which herb would you recommend for her digestion and what time should she take it? So I put that I would recommend using cardamom, turmeric, cumin, and cinnamon for herbs and spices. These are all digestive herbs and spices that can help balance out the vata in her system or physiology. And then I put that I would recommend using turmeric at lunchtime in her meal, or even a capsule with turmeric in it would be beneficial, I believe. So for this slide, the prompt was to name 2 spices with the appropriate time of day to administer and the logic behind my choice. So I put Handra, which is turmeric, same as the last slide. And I put that it should be administered in pitta time, which is going to be between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. And that's also when this client should be taking the largest meal of the day. And I believe that this will help for the turmeric to be digested more easily and thoroughly. And the next one is fresh ginger. And I put this should be administered during kapha time between 6 and 10 a.m. This will help to prepare the client's digestive system for the day and in taking meals. And I think that it will also relieve some symptoms of edema because it is an antioxidant, especially after resting all night. So both of these spices are both Agnai Deepna and Amapachana, so they're nourishing and they help eliminate ama. And fresh ginger stimulates digestive enzymes, so this will help to improve digestion as well as the edema as mentioned. And turmeric is an anti-inflammatory, so this can help relieve some of the symptoms of pregnancy, um, just from carrying around a growing baby, and also will reduce some of the symptoms of indigestion that the client is experiencing. And now for the conclusion. So, for this assignment, for the conclusion, the assignment asks for a reflective summary of how my study and practice of Ayurveda has influenced my health over the last 4 weeks, and to describe my development of perception with pulse reading practice and any other aspects of my personal experience. So, I have been implementing some Ayurvedic techniques into my diet and lifestyle, such as using hing and hing washtika during lunch most days, as well as including other digestive spices in pretty much every meal that I have. Um, I also have been practicing pranayama with my meditation and trying to just be more active in general. And I have done yoga asanas a few times, which I would like to include into my routine more, but I just haven't figured out how to do that yet. This has improved my symptoms of IBS. It has improved my symptoms of anxiety from PTSD and daily life in general, which we all know can be stressful. Um, Overall, I just feel like I have a better outlook on life. I am feeling more like rejuvenated during the days. I have more energy and I'm not as scatterbrained, believe it or not. And I also, with my perspective of my pulse readings, I've had some very intimate experiences with my pulse readings that I haven't experienced even when I was taking the pulse class. So that was really beneficial to me, and I believe that I can help other people with pulse reading as well. Obviously, if I'm going to be doing some Ayurvedic consulting, I'll be using that for that, but just suggesting that people use it just to help ground them is, I think, very beneficial. So, and most of all, my coherency of consciousness has evolved over the last 16 weeks, and that has been a very interesting and phenomenal and beneficial experience for me because it's just helping me to put myself back in the place where I want to be versus in a place where I am kind of in fight or flight mode most of the time. It's not a comfortable place. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and I will miss taking this course. It was super, not just beneficial, but just fun in general. And I hope that life brings you many blessings. Thank you.